Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Let's talk about Nolan Wells. We have a new video or picture, either way you want to look at it. And in this, this brings a lot of questions. We had two things to choose from. We had one side of the story, the female said he left with the guys. Why would I even have thought about anything? He left with the guys, I left with my family. The other side says he left with a girl. We left him there because he was going to hang out with the girl. Which is it? Well, now what's come out has everybody going, hold the phone. Is this the girl? Her name is Katie, by the way. Is this her dad? And is Nolan on his boat? Because it looks like it. Yeah, it really looks like it. And, hey, Laura, good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the live audience and welcome to our replay crew. You guys are amazing. So here at 1111 True Crime, we do a little bit of everything. And one of the things we do, well, we do all true crime, except for Wednesdays where we have our deck party. That being said, Laura, 18 months. I thought it said new member. I don't know why. Let me turn this all on and let you guys see what everybody's saying. We'll go ahead and do that and all that good stuff. All right, so you guys, over here, we have Laura. Oh, I guess it is over here. I can't keep up. Laura, 18 months as a private eye. Thank you, lovely. I appreciate you. I have no idea why it said new member. It always does that, I guess. Oh, I know, Laura. Why does this case remind me so much of the Jay Slater case? Oh my. I was thinking about it. I'm like, this reminds me of even the boat. I'm like, there's even a boat where we're trying to figure out the GPS, and it makes a detour, it appears. And there's an hour plus missing. This just gets weirder and weirder. If this isn't foul play, then answer these other questions that everybody has. Who was last with Nolan? It's like, okay, I'm going to give you an example of how frustrated everybody is with this case and why. It's going to be real simple. All right, a mother has two children. They're both approximately same age, like a year apart. We'll go 4 and 5. And she has a plate of cookies on the table. She leaves the room. Let's say there's one cookie. She leaves the room, she comes back, and the cookie's gone. Now, one of the two kids took the cookie. There's nobody else there. Somebody took the cookie, right? But it's the he said, she, it's he took it. He took it. And you don't know who took the cookie, so you're sitting there going, That's what Nolan Wells' case is like. You don't know if we are to believe everything being said. Doesn't look like it because it don't make no sense. The more we look into it, the more it's like, what? What the heck? And I honestly have been suspicious in the direction of the female, just suspicion, not accusation, but suspicion of the female story. And here's why. If you've been part of the United States legacy and know history, one of the crux in the southern states, such as Mississippi, has been that there are certain racial tensions around mixing races. It's the way it is down there. It's not always that way, but it is a thing. And so when you have and I'm not saying this is race related at all, I'm just saying here's another possibility. Is it possible that the girl's family wasn't as accepting of Nolan as the female thought? And I was looking, there's some picture out there of Nolan, and he's dressed in a suit with a female that has a dress on that looks extremely a lot like Katie. And I'm like, did he know her from before? All right, so let's get into this. Are y'all ready? Are you ready to dig in? So what we're going to be doing today, you guys, is we're going to listen to Willie D live, and he's going to show you a lot about this footage. He's going to give you just some things to think about, but also, I think I cracked it. Everybody else is like, it says Little Daddy on the boat, and everybody's like, it says Big Daddy on the boat. I don't think it says Little Daddy. I don't think it says any of that. I think I've legitimately cracked the code to the name of the boat, which then would suggest that it's Katie McCormick's daddy's boat because of the name. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You ready? Yes, good possibility. Hey, Laura. Hey, Winch. How do I say that? Which son? Which scion is me? Okay, we'll call you witches. Hello, lovely. Hey, Vic. How you doing? Vicky's here. All right, you guys, let's get into this. I'm like chomping at the bit to share this. So, he needs a little help. You know, he's only got 1.16 million subscribers. I'm just kidding. He looks like he's doing fairly well. This is Willie D Live, and now that I've been covering the Nolan Wells case, I'm getting exposed to wonderful new channels, and I always try to give credit where credit is due. So please go give him a hello, darling, and hit like and subscribe if you so feel inclined. He has over 10,000 videos. But you guys, I wanted to share this little clip, and thank you for allowing us to fair use to be able to play. Okay, here we go.
Now, I said that the boat was unidentified because we can't quite make out exactly what it is, but Secret Sam, unidentified boat. Now, I said that the boat was unidentified because we can't quite make out exactly what it is, but Secret Sam.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I may have cut right into the chase. Let's do this. Let's take this guy right here and let's enlarge this really big. And let's talk about this. So, this fella has the same matching clothing on that Nolan was photographed in earlier. He's also very dark-skinned, and many suspect that this is actually Nolan. And he's been caught in a video on this boat, and what everybody's wanting to know and trying to work on is what this says. Now, nobody is denying this says daddy, but some people are like, it says Big Daddy. No, it don't say Big Daddy. Some people say it says Little Daddy. I don't think it says Little Daddy either. In fact, that's where I think we're going to get a very telling answer as to, let me get that off my face, what that really says could have to do with the naming of the dad. You'll see. So what he's trying to do right here is actually not talk about Nolan because he's already talked about it. And Willie D's already talked about it. I've skipped ahead in the video and I grabbed this part. Good afternoon, Karmic Retribution TC. Hello, lovely.
Now, I said that the boat was unidentified because we can't quite make out exactly what it is, but Secret Sam, unidentified boat. Now, I said that the boat was unidentified because we can't quite make out exactly what it is, but Secret Service Sam tried to do the best that he could. This is the picture that was taken from the video, and he enhanced it and
Actually, no, that's not true. See, that's where you guys have a problem. You come in and you state something and you say, we all know that he hung out with Katie. No, he didn't. No. Katie said, they said hi and bye. There was no hanging out. See, that would change the whole timeline and narrative. There was no time to hang out with Katie. Katie made it clear. All we said is, hi, Nolan. Hi, Katie. And there was no exchange. This would contradict what Katie says if this is Nolan on her parents' boat. And it would produce that it was a lie by omission or actual just flat out lie, because she is saying that there was no hangout. She's denying that they hung out. And so we want to be clear on this and keep it the way they're saying it.
came up with this that says Little Daddy. Now, I believe it was
don't say Little
the guy
Daddy.
who
It don't
runs
even
the
look
page,
like that.
We Are Human Too, who
In my
said he
opinion.
don't believe that it says Little or Lil Daddy, but the daddy part I don't think is disputable, but the first part of it is in question. Now, what's the significance of this boat? Well, word on the street is that boat belongs to this man. Now, who is this man?
Hey, he's on the boat. This is part of the video.
Allegedly, this man is the father of the so-called girl, the mystery girl that Nolan was hanging out with. Word on the street is this guy is this guy. This is Katie's father. Now, what's the significance? Well, if our guy, Nolan, is indeed on this boat, if this is the same boat, then Katie got some explaining to do, because Katie, let her tell it, said she briefly spoke to Nolan and then he took off and started about his business to hanging out with his buddies, who I believe actually killed him. Also, if that is indeed Nolan on that boat, then that could change the timeline. Once again, that's him. Now, here's the deal, fam. This guy, once he got wind of people talking about him on the internet and pointing him out as perhaps having some type of association to Nolan's death, he vanished. Poof. He vanished. He just totally disappeared.
Gone. Y'all, it does look that looks like Katie's dad on that boat. And so I got to thinking about it. What if it is Katie's dad's boat? And I was looking at this and it doesn't look like it says little or big to me. And I was looking at Katie and I was thinking of McCormick over and over. And what came out was McCormack, right? Mac. And then look at this. Doesn't it look like it says Mac Daddy? That's what I really think it says, is Mac Daddy, because it's McCormack. So it's Mac Daddy. They just dropped the K. Aw, thanks, love for all. You say hello, love your podcast. Appreciate you. Well, doesn't that make sense? To me, I can see it so clear. To me, I can't unsee it. It says Mac Daddy, like crystal clear. And wouldn't that mean that this is most likely Katie's family's boat, McCormack? I mean, I'm just asking. Give me a 1 if you think it says something different. Give me a 2 if you think it says Mac Daddy. I can so clearly see, especially the A and the C. I'm like, how can that not be seen? And so I was like, well, that's an A and a C. What's that first letter? And then I got to looking, and it's got the double. And I'm like, that's Mac Daddy. And there's McCormack. Now, I'm not saying that's for sure. This is my guess. I want to know your opinion. I think my chat is frozen stiff. Oh, it was. Makes total sense to you. But do you think that? All right, so Jenny Phil says, yeah, she thinks so. Live and love Portugal. Life is a 2. Nikki is a 2. I can't unsee it. Like, that's what it clearly says to me. Like, I don't even need to enhance it. I'm like, it says Mac Daddy. I don't know where everybody got big. I don't see no I. I see an A. You feel me? And that first letter to me looks like an M, and it's definitely a C on the end. Mac Daddy. And it would make sense. McCormack, the daddy. If it says McCormack and it's his, it does kind of give you that sense of almost like a ego thing. I don't know. Can we see it again, please? Yes, let's blow it up. We'll go big. I don't know if that'll help. Sometimes it pixelates it more. But I mean, I can see McDaddy for sure. Like, I can't unsee it, so I don't know. I think that's about as big as I can make it. You saw the M right away, Jennyville? Me too. Vicky says, MD, cleared up again, please. How do I clear it up again? I can make it smaller. Does that help? I don't know. I can't please everybody, y'all. Either want it big or little. I can't make it both. Hey, Sash, in the house. Midnight Intuition says I gave a reading. It was hard, but my reading's okay. Okay. So I just thought it was interesting. I feel that this cracked the code to me. I see Mac Daddy. I don't know whose boat it is. However, I'm just going to say this. Throwing spaghetti at the wall. Speculation station. How do we know that this dude that is allegedly Katie's, let's go get him. Right there, you can see Nolan. Okay, this dude, right, on the boat. How do we know that he was okay and totally on board with his daughter? Think about how protective a father is of their daughter, regardless of the color of the boy. Okay? What if, spaghetti at the wall, could Nolan have left with them and then the father didn't like something? Maybe he found out something. Maybe he saw that there was something he didn't like. Maybe he didn't like Nolan from the start. I don't know. Is it possible that Nolan had an accident? Is something? I don't know. But if he's on that boat and it looks to me like it says Mac Daddy, then they have, obviously, the girl will have lied. If I want the autopsy out so that we can get this understood. However, I do have to say this. There are 2 children on the front of the boat. I didn't see that. I do have a delivery coming today. I'm sorry. I don't think they're children. They look like adults. They look like females to me. Let's go over and look. Let's see. Well, you can kind of see them here. Right here. And that's a girl. Probably teenager. Could be Katie for all I know. And then another, what looks to be a teenage girl. But then it turns it. Okay, let's see. Oh, real, yeah. Those are definitely very young women. And you can see that heavier set guy right there. See him right there? And then there's an older female here. And then it goes over here to this. Boys, that's enough, please. I think I have a delivery. Okay, there's the original video. Sorry about your fur babies. I'll mute for a minute. Sorry. Yeah, it was a delivery. So my son's gonna go get it. All right. Sash says, thank you. Forgive me. I said thank you after I coughed. I mean, excuse me. Sash says, I thought it was sad that the brother came to pick Katie up and the woman made a statement saying Katie was safe. Yeah. Isn't that weird? That would also be a huge problem if that ain't the brother. Now, I'm not saying it's not the brother. Maybe that's the brother. But how soon did he come to pick Katie up? And is that Nolan on the brother's boat? And just because the brother came doesn't mean the dad didn't come too. Is the brother's name McCormick as well? Probably. The male's not going to change his name. Okay, so it's highly likely that could be the brother's boat. But to me, it looks like it says Mac Daddy. And when you think of McCormack, I'll bet you there's a nickname in there about being Mac Daddy. You feel me? They say one of the people have shorts as guy on friend's boat. I don't know what that means. Gail can't tell for sure. Eyesight's not good. On the front of the boat, yeah. On the front of the boat is two young teenage girls. Let me grab a little snippet of it. Let me see where's the best picture and I'll blow it up for you. Right here. Let me grab a picture and we'll throw it on the screen. Let's see what this guy's doing too, because he's filming something. We're working on the fly, darling. All right, what's that guy do? He's just filming. It looks like he's filming Nolan. I don't know. Who's that dude right here? Okay, let me close this off so I can see. Who is this dude right here? Let's try lightening this. This looks like a very young lady. Let me do a little brightening. Brighten it up to daytime. Let's see if we can get the contrast figured out. Maybe a little sharper. No, that's interesting because this is the boat. And now look at this dude. Who is this dude right here? Because that ain't the big, heavy-set, bald dude. This dude's got hair, right? And look, he's thin. Who's this dude? Who is this dude? All right, now back here, we've got two more people. I can still see someone here. He's talking to him. He's saying something to him. It says, that's Daddy. I think it says Mac Daddy. There's not enough letters there for 5 plus apostrophe. This is weird. Who do you think these people are? Okay, let me shrink her back down. Now, when I was looking at this, it's really only got, let me get my little drawer and I'll show you where I see it. Oh, I can't even draw. I went all crazy like. So to me, this is an A. I really can't do it. Okay, let me try to do it like right. So see how Daddy has this A right here? Well, there's another one right here. This matches that. So that's an A. Let me get those off the screen. And then to me, this is clearly a C. I mean, I can't even see why nobody can see the C, but right here. So we have a A and a C. And I think this says Mac. I can't draw. Let me try it again. Mac. I can't do it. So much harder than it looks. And the writing's all at an angle. It's all crazy lie. I feel like I'm decoding something. All right? That's what I see. Let me make it really big. That's what I see. Who's your daddy? I know who my daddy is. Zach Daddy, Big Daddy, Lil Daddy, Zach Daddy. Oh, that same person said that. I'm like, who come up with Zach Daddy? Okay. Could be. I just think it is. I thought I heard somebody say Big Daddy, but that does look like an A. It's an A. That's an A. That's a C. So you only got a few letters. It could be Back Daddy, B-A-C-K. It could be Cack Daddy, C-A-C-K, or C-A-C. Dak Daddy with a D, E-F-Fac Daddy. I mean, Mac Daddy to me fits because I've heard that a lot growing up, Mac Daddy. And McCormick, Mac Daddy. It just makes sense to me. You think it says that? I meant the guy. What guy? Hey, E Styles. You right. Thank you. I mean, really, it's an AC. There's no doubt it's an AC. So now we have to get this figured out to where what's the other letter? So I'm gonna take it all away. And we're gonna make it smaller so you can see it all. We'll go like this. That's a C, y'all. This is a C. This is a C. This is an A. So what is that other letter? Mac Daddy. Makes sense if the McCormacks are the Mac Daddy family. Feel me? Mac Daddy, right. Was that Katie in the picture with Nolan? I don't know. That's just what somebody made the claim of. I can't verify it. But they're alleging that this is Katie. You see the A and, yeah, Gail, you see the A and the C now? Seeing the other pictures close up, it says Big Daddy. That was the enhanced version you were looking at, and it didn't say that. This is the legit video, and that is not an I, and that is not a G, that's a C. That's not an I, that's an A. But it's everybody can pick whatever they want it to say till we know what it is. Like, it's just my humble opinion. But what's not my humble opinion is the missing time. Why do we have missing time? Why, if the boat is broken, even if they think that they fixed it, wouldn't they take it back on land and make sure it was fixed before heading out to sea? But they go to Fort Bayou twice. I don't get this. This is weird. This is very, very weird. Look at this.
The Nolan Wells case, the more questions I have. So let's look at this timeline. Let's talk about it. At 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the dock. At 11:14 a.m., the boat arrives at Horn Island, and around 3 o'clock p.m., Nolan is reportedly last seen. At 4:31 p.m., GPS shows the boat leaving Horn Island without Nolan. Sometimes after leaving the island, a distress call was reportedly made claiming the boat was taking on water and needed assistance. The exact time of that call is not publicly confirmed. At 5:44 p.m., the boat returns to the original dock. 5:52 p.m., GPS shows the boat traveling into Fort Bayou, and at 6:06 p.m., the boat returns to the original dock again. At 7:19 p.m., the boat goes to the Fort Bayou boat launch. Again, around 11 o'clock p.m., the Coast Guard says it was notified that Nolan was missing. Now, here's what I'm trying to understand. If the boat had a mechanical emergency that required everyone to leave the island, when exactly did that happen? How serious was the issue? Why does the GPS show the boat continuing to travel afterward? Why the additional trips to Fort Bayou? And if Nolan was last seen around 3 o'clock p.m., why wasn't the Coast Guard notified that he was missing until around 11 o'clock p.m.? Listen, I'm not saying this timeline proves anyone committed a crime. I'm saying there are questions that deserve answers. That's why the GPS data, Coast Guard records, phone records, and witness statements all need to be compared.
When I was putting together the timeline and piecing it together, there were two things that stuck out to me. One was there were several trips back and forth, and two, there was an hour and 13-minute time gap, and I'm going to talk to you about it. So first, at 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the original dock. It arrives at Horn Island at 11:14. So at around 4 o'clock, there is a call to the Coast Guard about the boat. NBC News got a hold of it. Here's a quick snippet. This is the only little snippet I could find.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Everybody's on board. So does that mean Nolan is on there? Who was on that boat? At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs. So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. Now, the boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Now, it doesn't specify what part of Fort Bayou it goes to, but it looks like on this map right here, this is where it looks like they took the boat out. If there's any locals that know this area, please chime in, let us know your thoughts. So here's my question. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? And then from there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap? This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes. You would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
ASAP, right? ASAP. This isn't making sense to me either. I don't get any of this. I want that autopsy out so that we have some answers, but I fear that it could have been, let's not attach anybody. Let's just say somebody that didn't want Nolan in their family life. Friend, whatever. What if Nolan was on one of these boats that all left at this time and they just threw him overboard? That autopsy isn't going to show anything but that he drowned. It reminds me of the Jay Slater case. The autopsy showed that he left the top of the cliff and he landed and broke bones and was hurt. But it never could reveal, in Jay Slater's case, if he was pushed, if somebody did something nefarious. Everything was leading to the point to where in a million years you can't imagine this boy walking off a cliff in broad daylight with that many people around. But we weren't left with any answers. Even the last inquisition was basically that they couldn't prove if Jay Slater had been pushed, but that they didn't see any signs of foul play. At this point, will we ever truly know? And will the autopsy satisfy anybody's curiosity? I do think the more that footage is reviewed, the more evidence that something took place that removed Nolan Wells from line of sight from hundreds of boaters and people by 4:30 that day. And the only thing that I can think of, because certainly there's not going to be a group that large that's just going to ignore someone drowning. And even if something unpredictable happened, the people that were leaving the island he was with them, they would know he's missing. But if they're so innocent, then they would be like, where is he? But that's not what happened. We have this conversation. He was with her. And she's saying he was with him. So it's a he said, she said situation. Does this video of what appears in all respect to me to be Nolan on that boat, is it Katie McCormick's family's boat? I don't know. But it really makes me ask some questions. Why do we have this other boat that the friends were on, limping back, being towed for a short way, then getting the problem allegedly fixed all of a sudden? And then they go, and instead of just docking and getting the boat out of the water so they could check it, they go to Fort Bayou, and then they come back, and then they go to Fort Bayou, and then they come back, and then they leave. It's like, what is going on? And why have a missing timeline? What's the timeline? And where did they stop? And why does it lead back to a doctor's house as the owner of the boat, allegedly? You feel me? Something's all off here. A lot of riding around with the boat considering they had been drinking, or a sober adult was driving, question mark. Midnight Intuition says, I believe that Nolan was with Katie and the boys got scared for leaving him. Yeah, but I don't know, y'all. Something's weird. Note about Brittany. I like your name. Their own narrative implicates the boat driver for negligence. At the very least, in my opinion. I'm with you. Leaving a passenger... I'll try to read. Leaving a passenger alone without a phone and supplies, alcohol, crimes. Yeah. Jennifer says, does anyone know if the cause of death was drowning? We don't know yet. We're still waiting on the autopsy. Which the private autopsy is supposed to be back. And this is the longest I've ever seen us wait for an autopsy in a case. I'm starting to wonder, like, are they stalling? You know, it was weird the way they worded that. If it were to go to the grand jury, it doesn't mean foul play. That often happens with cases where there's an unknown cause of death. I'm thinking that autopsy's probably gotten back. They probably found that they don't know what killed Nolan. If it's unknown, it would suggest there's no water in the lungs. So I'm very confused by that. And I'm really, really getting to the point where I'm like, why are they taking so long on the autopsy? You feel me? It just seems like it's being like stalled. And we're expecting back but private autopsy that the family has some professionals doing. Yeah, we don't know yet. Nothing in yet, Jen. Right. That's a long time to keep a sinking boat in the water. So they're waiting on toxicology. That could be. That can take a while. That can take 3 weeks. The name on the boat looks like Lil Daddy. Thank you, Tina. I think it says Mac Daddy. I do. I think it says Mac Daddy McCormick. That's just my humble opinion, and I could be completely wrong. That's how I feel. I think it does. What do you guys think? This case is so frustrating, though. I just want the answers for the family. And what's all the missing time and the boat play? There's something weird with the boat. Remember the Maruba boat over in the Jay Slater case? How it did the circle out in the middle and then took off and it went off radar and all that kind of crap. Well, this kind of makes me wonder if like something happened to Nolan and I'm just gonna throw it out there. Could something have happened to Nolan and the boys have freaked out like an accident? Let's play this for a minute. The boys freaked out, thought, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We have to leave with Nolan or have a witness to say we didn't leave with Nolan. So they allegedly called to get, I don't know, it just gets so far of a reach. And then to see Nolan on a different boat, and it looks like Katie's dad. I'm like, oh, daddies are very, very protective of their daughters. I don't care what color the boy is. When it comes to a father and a daughter, the fathers can be very aggressive towards younger males that pursue their daughter's interest. And I got to thinking, what if they announced something that didn't sit right? I know, spaghetti at the wall, but hey, we don't have anything else, to think about. So this is where my mind rolls. And there's nothing wrong with speculating. That's what the detectives do, the investigators. They sit around and they speculate based on the facts they know. And they'll even go way out there on a limb and kind of see how it fits to the evidence. And I got to thinking, what if Katie is going to have a baby or something? What if they knew each other? What if that is Katie in the picture with Nolan? What if there was some news delivered that just they wanted to get married and she's not pregnant? They just wanted to spend their life together. What if there was something like that triggered the family and they were just like, and then Nolan was like, I don't have a life jacket. You feel me? He would still drown. He would still wash up there because you're going to be pushed by the current and the waves right up against the shore finally. It could take a little bit for the body to come to the surface, usually 2 days. But it would make more sense that these hundreds of people, even up to 1,000 people that are there for the 4th of July on this island where there's nothing there but sand and dirt and a little bit of grass, why he just disappears from line of sight is he would have had to have left somehow. I mean, it's not like after they leave, anybody sees him again. It would suggest that he was on one of the boats. But either way, even if it was the friend's boat, if it tugged out, let's say that they went a little ways and no one was on board, then he wasn't on board and they called for help. That person arriving is never going to know if all the people are on board or not. The boys didn't sound that shook up, like something grave had happened, but you just never know nowadays. But then on the other shoe, I'm thinking about this boat, and I'm like, that is not the boy's boat that he's on. That's someone else's boat. And even if it says Big Daddy, Little Daddy, the dude on that boat looks very similar to me, in my humble opinion, to Katie's daddy. Or maybe her brother. I don't know what her brother looks like. Looks like somebody related to that guy, though. And it just leaves me really wondering, what boat did Nolan leave on? He had to have left on a boat, though, surely. Isn't the funeral tomorrow? I heard Friday. I could be wrong. Maybe it is this weekend. Do you think it says Mac Daddy? I do too. I hope we find out. Alpha OJ and Nolan was about to start training camp, so there's no way he would have any in him except for oat milk. I feel you. Didn't think about that. You'd be thinking. I've been thinking a lot about this. Linda Beatty. I watched the interview with the family in Crump. They are still going to do toxicology because the other friends were intoxicated and the mother kicked them all out, allegedly. Sash has been made out that Nolan was speaking to Katie for the first time, but there are pictures of her in a prom dress, party dress with Nolan, so they must know each other quite well. Let me see if I can go get that. I want to get that for you. Hold on. We'll do a little, we've got 10 minutes. I can look it up. Nolan Wells, 80. Okay. It was weird. And I was like, that is that girl. What are they talking about? That looks just like that girl. Oh, y'all, I wish somebody sent it to me. I should have grabbed it. I should have grabbed it when I had the chance. It showed Nolan Wells with a girl in a prom dress, and it looked exactly like Katie. And I'm like, that's got to be Katie. I mean, it really looked like her. I'm like, there is no way. Okay, I'm not seeing it now. Let's try. Okay, okay. I found one. Okay, look at this. Let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right here. What did it give me? Okay, well, we're here somewhere. No one. Okay. Where's the picture I got shown? Oh, I didn't even know. Look! Okay, stop it. Hold on. Let me get you on here. You can't tell me that's not Katie. That's Katie. Holy crap, that's Katie. In my humble opinion. Devils in disguise, said Mrs. Banks. You feel me? That looked like Katie. Okay, let's go this way. I don't know where I tapped in, but we just got in here, so. Montego. Okay, let's go back. Thank you for your reporting. Thank you, Alpha. Thank you. You are so kind. Thank you for the $4.99 snipper chat. That is very generous. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. Let's look at some of these pictures. You can't tell me that's not Katie. Come on. Vicky Lynn says, I wonder why it's being said he was identified by dental process. But then they say no foul play. Now 2 autopsies, state and now independent. A lot of questions, right? Coral says, I didn't see a prom picture. Well, I'm just showing you this. Let me see if I can slide it up so you can see it as him. Okay. Mm-hmm. And right here. Right here. Yep, on the side with Nolan. Nolan hanging out with his buddies. Okay, that's all we get. See right there? See right there? Mm-hmm. That looks exactly like her. Look at this one. It even looks like they went to prom or something. You feel me? Pearl says, yeah. Why is it he identified by dental records happened? What happened to his face? Could it be because his face be gone? I don't know. The name of the boat gives you bad vibes, in your opinion, Linda? Did Nolan get on a different boat? That's what I wonder, Ace of Spades. That's her. That's what I thought. Do you guys think it's her? Did you think it was her? Did I delete a message accidentally? Message deleted by 1111 True Crime. I didn't mean to delete anything. I fat finger clicked something. I love you, Alpha. I'm sorry I deleted something. If I deleted anything, I sure didn't mean to. Been in water 2 days because his face be gone. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, it's in my opinion. I didn't mean to delete anybody. Let me get these things off my ears. Ooh. Those are loud, man. Those are loud. I think MD accidentally deleted it, Nikki. I think I did too. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to delete anything. Y'all, I have so many buttons. It's a wonder that I don't like in the live accidentally. I've done that too. So forgive me. It's all good. We know you wouldn't do it on purpose. No, it said deleted. I know. I didn't mean to. The bright pink dress is definitely her. That's what I said. Like, come on. Oh, here's one. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. We got to go back over here. And we got to go back over here. And we got to go back over there. Okay? You can't tell me that's not that girl. So, okay. Did he have a relationship with Katie? That just left me. Well, Smudger, at least you're not deleting people's comments like Mama D did. All right, lovelies. That's what I have for you. A lot of thinking here. If Nolan is removed from line of sight at approximately 4:30, it would suggest he left with someone. Just like that. Because otherwise, somebody would have heard from Nolan in some way. Which boat did he go on? Is it Big Daddy? Is it Mac Daddy? Is it Little Daddy? I think it's Mac Daddy. I think it's McCormick. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I love you guys. I pray for Nolan's family and for Nolan to get the truth. I just feel so bad for the family, for real. All right, my loves, if you are continuing on with me into the mystic and unknown, if you get me, I'm going to go over and we're going to pull some cards. I want to know about Katie. I just want to see what comes out on Miss Katie. Remember, everything's alleged, and in my opinion, but it should reveal something. I feel strongly that it's going to reveal quite a bit. We'll see. All right, my lovelies. I love you all to the moon and back. Just like that.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think that